I love music, I love great sound, this little gem of a soundbar is amazing. I have a small living room and this thing sounds like a club speaker when I connect it to my phone via Bluetooth. When watching TV and movies I have to put it in night mode because the bass is so strong if you live in an app. I did not purchase my Polk MagniFi Mini from Amazon. However, I do want to make a comment about the product. First, I want to say if you are looking for a top-of-the-line full-featured knock-your-socks-off home system, this is not it. If you are looking for a soundbar system without a lot of pieces that sounds great, this is it. Keep in mind that this is a mini, not a full sound system. The good one. Setup is very easy, it appears to be for the TV only too. There is only two pieces, soundbar, subwoofer, aside from the cables, so you don't have to rearrange your living area to accommodate 4 to 5 speakers. 3. The sound of this mini is outstanding, bass, clear voice, and instruments from the TV. The bad, as you can see by the picture, there are 3 input ports, HDMI ARC, opt, O. This current configuration is for a TV setup only. In the guide you'll notice the setup is for the TV only and there are no other instructions for a cable box or DVD/Blu-ray. Now most homes have at least a TV and a DVD/Blu-ray player, and then there is a cable box, all of which are connected together. I haven't really searched this out, but most HD TVs, $300 $800 range don't have a HDMI ARC port and none seem to have an aux port. DVD/Blu-ray players don't have an aux port, they may have an optical and coaxial digital audio cable port. But you only have one optical port on the Mini. There is room to include a second optical port on the Mini. I understand this is a mini version of the Max. But for $250 plus it should reflect the most common of household setups: cable box, TV, DVD/Blu-ray player. I did mention the Wi-Fi or Bluetooth because the sound quality is degraded a bit. Would I recommend this system for a room size of 15x15 or smaller? Absolutely. This Polk MagniFi Mini is very powerful and sounds great. Small and quality design product, I'm satisfied. I'm using this as a computer soundbar and it's a huge leap up from my previous arrangement. The sound is excellent even at reasonably high volume. Obviously it's not big enough to power a disco, but I'm not asking it to. This is enough juice for an average living room or desktop. Setup was easy because the subwoofer and soundbar are paired at the factory, so no fiddling necessary. The sub is wireless, all you have to do is plug it into power. Behind a couch is fine. When I powered up the soundbar they both recognized each other instantly. The only hiccup for me was that the soundbar doesn't actively scan inputs and select the source that is supplying audio. I plugged it into my computer's optical sound output and nothing happened. Eventually I clicked the optical button on the remote and it started working. You can cycle through inputs on the top of the soundbar, third button from the left, but the UI is not very obvious. Electrical input for both the sub and the soundbar are 100 to 240 volts, so they will work worldwide. The product manual and even the Polk website are not specific about this, so I am including pictures of both. Overall I think this is the best mini-size soundbar on the market. Great for a desktop. It would also be fine in an average living room. May 16, 2020 update. When I first listened to movies and music using this Polk MagniFi Mini soundbar, I had thought that the sound was adequate considering its size and price, and it probably is. However, now 6 months later, I wish I had purchased a larger and better sounding soundbar, even if that had meant spending more. December 21, 2019. First impressions: it took just a few minutes to take it out of the box, connect it to my TV HDMI ARC port using the included HDMI cable, connect the power cables and be ready. The subwoofer and the soundbar come pre-paired to communicate wirelessly with each other, so it was not necessary to pair them. If I had this TV on a wide stand or mounted on a wall, it probably had purchased a much wider soundbar or separate speakers, as I have done for the TVs in other rooms. But the TV is on top of a 25 inches wide table, and I thought that the size was adequate. I've posted a picture to show it. I've always been a fan of Polk products. I've had more than a few subs and speakers. I have a high-end Klipsch setup in my basement home theater that is a beast. This $169 too. One is not bad. But I wanted you to know that I have some experience with high-end in general. Size: if you look at my photos you'll see the layout of my setup. I was looking for a small speaker to improve over my Samsung TV speaks, which are terrible. I started with a JBL Link 300, because JBL is great. However, it could only connect via Bluetooth, and in that capacity it was off or out of sync with the TV picture. Like an old kung fu movie, lol. I was looking for a setup that was small, like 12 to 18 inches wide. We use an old Kicker iKick Docano in the bedroom instead of the TV speakers, and it's very good. I thought about the new version of that Kicker, $199, for our living room, but this Polk is smaller, so I was leaning towards it. Then when it dropped from $229 to $169, I decided to give it a try. As you see from my pictures, I am able to hide the sub behind my kids' toy cabinet, so the separate sub is able to be hidden, and thus I don't count it when debating the size considerations of a sound bar. Performance: in running it through optical cable straight from my cable box. I tried the Bluetooth and it is not syncing properly with my TV. It's not as bad as my JBL Link 300, but it's still off. So now I'm wondering if it's an issue with my TV and not the audio devices. I have no plans to use the HDMI R4 connection, so sorry I can't comment on them. That said, the optical connection works great and syncs perfectly, of course. The sound is very good. Considering this is a $169 $2. One, I'm very happy. If you're looking for high-end surround sound type room-filling bass and sound, then skip this and spend $5,000. But judging fairly, it is really nice. I run an old Klipsch 2.1 system on my work TV that is very comparable in quality. If you are familiar with that Klipsch setup, you will understand. The big difference is this Polk has a bunch of different connection choices, and the sub is wireless, so that makes it better. Setup: well, it's plug and play so far. The sub setup is literally just plugging it in and it auto connects. There is the ability to connect via Wi-Fi, which I'm not sure how to do. Polk sends auto firmware updates, so I do want to get in connected, I just have yet to do it. I believe it needs to be done through the Google Home app. Remote: the included remote is okay. It does the job. However, after a year of use it has started to come apart. This is due to kids dropping it on the hardwood floor many times. I'm not totally knocking it, but remotes should be built to take a little beating. Our Xfinity remote has been dropped just as often and is now over 3 years old with no signs of breaking or coming apart. Also, the remote is picky about being lined up perfectly to pass on a signal. Perhaps an RF remote would be a better option, or at least a stronger IR signal. This is in no way a deal breaker. Just an observation. Price: I paid $169 as I said, and I feel that is a good deal. Click link in description for more reviews.